My husband knocked out my brother for insulting me, and my parents want me to choose. What is the right choice? Sorry for the throwaway account. I have colleagues on my main account, and I want to keep this as private as possible, but I also need advice. As the title says, basically. This past weekend, my husband and I were at my parents' house for a barbecue. The day was going great until, for some reason, my brother started to criticize me. He began calling me names and belittling me. My husband pulled him aside and had a talk with him, and for a while, the insults stopped. About an hour later, we were standing around, talking with some friends and family members, when my brother came up to me and said, "You know you are a fucking whore, right?" He said it loud enough for almost everyone at the party to hear. All I saw was my husband, who was standing next to me, look at me. Then, I felt a slight push to the side as my husband stepped in front of me. The next thing I knew, my brother was out cold on the ground with blood on his face. All I could hear was my mother yelling and my husband saying, "You do not talk to my wife like that. I warned you already." Before I continue, let me clarify, my husband did not hurt me. He did not push me hard or anything like that. It was more like a gentle nudge that someone gives you when they are trying to pass. I only took one step back, that is all. I am not mad at my husband. I am furious with my brother. The entire day, he was demeaning me, insulting me, and belittling me. I do not know where this came from, as he has never spoken to me like that before, nor have I seen him behave this way with anyone else. The bigger problem is that I have to choose, either my husband or my parents. My parents are livid and have given me an ultimatum. I must leave my husband and divorce him, or they will cut me off completely. My husband does not care that they are mad. The only thing he regrets is, in his words, that he only got one punch in. I love my husband and do not want to lose him, but I also do not want to lose my parents. They have supported me through a lot and have always been there for me. I know they are serious because this is the first time they have ever given me an ultimatum. They have even threatened my husband with an assault charge, but he does not care and has welcomed them to do so. I feel stuck, torn between a decision that will change my life forever. I am panicking. I have received messages from friends and other family members. Some have supported me and condemned my husband, but most are leaning toward supporting me. Any advice would be appreciated. Quick edit. I am choosing my husband. I have never doubted that. However, I also do not want to lose my family. I am very family-oriented, and family means everything to me. I want to find a solution where I can keep both. Update 1. First, I would like to thank everyone, and I want to apologize as well for the way I worded my post. It is no excuse, but my emotional state is not the best. I am unable to link my previous post, so just look through the account if you are curious. My husband is my choice, and I have no intention of leaving him at all. I never have. I know it is early for an update, but I am even more confused now about what is going on. My parents invited me over to have a talk with them, but they insisted I come alone, as they did not want my husband at their house. My husband refused to let me go by myself and said, "If I am not going, then you are not going either." He added, "If you go alone, they will just pile on you, and I will not let that happen." So we went together. My parents were not happy to see him. My mother looked like she wanted to say something, but my husband cut her off. He told her, "I am not here for you. I am here for her. If you force me to leave, she will leave with me." I agreed with him, and reluctantly, they allowed us both to stay. My brother was there too. He had a broken nose and chipped teeth, and he refused to look at either me or my husband. He just kept staring at the ground, even while speaking. Apparently, my brother broke up with his girlfriend about a month ago, or rather, she broke up with him. I do not know the reason, nor do I care. I was not aware of this because my brother and I are not very close. According to him, the reason he lashed out at me this weekend is because my perfect life with my husband kept popping up on his social media feeds, and he got jealous. Everything on my social media is about my husband. I do not really post about anything else. His feed was full of my posts, and that set him off because, according to him, I had something he did not. It got worse when he overheard me and my mother talking about children. My husband and I are currently trying to have a baby, and that made things even worse in his mind. His life was falling apart while mine seemed to be going perfectly, and I was trying for something he wanted with his ex. He admitted he did not take my husband seriously when he pulled him aside and warned him earlier in the day. I asked my brother why he attacked me verbally, especially with the things he said, because none of it was true. He refused to answer. When I asked why he called me a whore, especially when he knows my husband has been my first and only partner, he still refused to answer. I even asked if trying to have a baby with my husband made me a whore because it involves intimacy, and he simply left the room. I also asked my parents why they did not step in to stop him or ask him to leave. My dad said he wanted to, but my mom told him to leave my brother alone because he was not actually hurting anyone. The same applies to the ultimatum they gave me. They just wanted to protect my brother. When I asked, "What about me?" they went silent. My dad admitted that the ultimatum was my mom's idea, and he just went along with it. That is where things stand right now. A lot more was said, but I do not think it matters. My husband apologized to my parents for what happened, but refused to apologize to my brother. When my mom asked him to do so, he outright said, "No, I will not apologize for standing up for my wife. Your son got what he deserved. He was warned, and he did not listen." My mom said that hitting my brother was still unacceptable. My husband then asked my dad, "What would you do if someone called your wife a whore?" My dad responded, "I would have a talk with them, but never hit anyone." My husband laughed and told my dad, "You are a weak-willed, spineless man if you let someone demean your wife like that." My mom was furious, and I could see her face turn red. At that point, I told my husband it was time to leave. Before we left, I told my parents that I would be going low contact with them. The ultimatum they gave me broke the trust one had in them. I understand they wanted to protect my brother, but in doing so, they hurt me deeply. This seemed to take all the anger out of my mom. She asked if I planned to cut them off completely, and I told her that it was up to them. I added that I wanted nothing to do with my brother right now, as he could not even apologize for what he said to me. I told them if they could respect my wishes, we would see how things progressed. When we got up to leave, my husband politely greeted my parents, but told my dad, "It is time to grow a backbone." I do not know what I saw, but I think it was shame on my mom's face. My dad looked at her, and she avoided his gaze. On the way home, my husband apologized for possibly escalating things, but said, "It was time someone told your dad the truth." He assured me that whatever fallout happens, he will handle it, and I should not worry or stress about anything.